无论如何，先和其他人取得联系吧。
I should get in touch with the others first.
说不定
Maybe they have
他们已
already
经找到
found
了
a
什么方法。
solution.
普罗米修斯
I
交
hope
给
the
我的通讯仪
communication
器，
device Prometheus gave
希
me
望在这
works
里也能
normally
正常使
here.
用。
Shigurikira sighed in relief when she heard her companion's voice from the communication device. After that, she felt deeply apologetic.
我失败
Sorry,
了。
I failed. The
这个世
border
界的
of this
边
world
界
seems to have
好像消
disappeared.
失了。
After hearing Shigurikira's story, the people on the other side of the communication device were silent for a long time. After a while, she finally heard Prometheus' voice.
看来
It
眼下
looks
的
like the
情
current
形
situation
将比
is
我
far
们
more
预期的还要
complicated than
复
we
杂。
expected.
为了
Miss
避免出现
Shigurikira,
意外，
you should return as
十一
quickly
企鹅
as
小
you
姐，
can in
请
case
尽
something
快返
goes
回
wrong.
吧。既然利用外
Since
事
our
件
plan
突
to
破世
use
界
the
号
key
的
of the
计划已
beyond to
经
break
宣告
through the
失
bubble
败，
universe has
现
failed,
阶段
the
最
most
重要的
important thing
就
at
是
this
要保
stage
存
is
实
to
力。
preserve our strength.
抱歉，
Sorry,
是
I
我将情
underestimated the
况想得太
complexity
简
of the
单了，不必
situation.
自责。
Don't blame
企鹅小
yourself,
姐，
Miss Kira. After
毕
all,
竟我
we're
们
up
面对的
against
是一
an
个抽
abstract
象、
and powerful
强大
enemy
而又具备
who
迷失
has
意
a
志的敌
clear
人。
will.
而且，
Also, I might have
也许我
thought of
想到了
another
另一种
way.
方法哦。另一种方
Another
法，
way.
还是等你
Let's
与我们会合
discuss
之后
this
再
after
从
you
长计
join
议
up
吧。
with us. Got
我
it.
知道
See you
了，
later.
稍后见。
A wonderful feeling of relief filled Shigurikira the moment she put down the communication device. Even the darkness before her eyes became fainter when she decided to leave. Faced with the absolute unknown, one can only get so far with their courage, experience, and intellect.
只要依照
I
砂
should
糖
be
饮
able
料
to
记录下来
return
的
to
路
the
径
starting
原路返
point
回，
if I follow the
就能回
path
到出发点
recorded
吧。
by the candy key.
应该
Yes,
没有问
it
题。
should be fine. A while later.
欢迎
Welcome
回来，
back, Miss
企鹅
Kira.
小姐。世
It's
界泡的性质
inevitable that
因
the
为融
nature
合
of
而
the
产
bubble
生了变
universe will
化，
change due
也
to
是
the
无可
fusion
奈何的事。
process. It's not your
这
fault,
并不是你
so
的
you
错，
shouldn't be depressed
你
about
无需
it.
垂头丧气。
Miss
你在这
Zhao,
里，
you said you
你
came
刚
up
才
with
说
a
自己
new
想到了新
idea.
的
What
办
is
法，
it?
究竟是什么？这个
About
嘛，
that, I'll need your
还
help,
需要
Miss
企鹅
Kira.
小姐的协助啊。你
You
之前
said
说
that the
过，
candy
你
key
把
can
砂
be
糖饮
used in
料可以
high-dimensional
作用于高
spaces,
维空间，
which means it should be
也就是说，
effective in the areas that
它
have
对眼
already
前这些已
fused,
经融合
right?
的区域也能生效了。
Well,
可以
that's
是可
true.
以，
It may not
但
function
具
in
体
the
的
way you
形式
imagine it
或许与
to.
你的想象有所出入。
The candy
砂
key
糖
has
饮料
been
曾遭受
severely
过严重
damaged,
破坏，
and the
在
sugar
修复它的
split
过
its
程中，
power while
休克
repairing
在
it.
它的
My
全流
candy
进行
key
了
is
拆分。
merely one of the
我
restored
现在
keys,
持有
so
的
its
只
full
是重
power
新修复
can
后
be
的其中一
unleashed.
把，因此并不能发挥出它的全部力量。具体来
Specifically,
说，
even
所谓的声效
when
也
it
不过是对
takes
空间的展
effect,
开方式
it
进
just
行一些引
provides
导，
some guidance
并
on
不能
how
阻止世
space
界泡继续
unfolds.
融合，
It can't
更
stop the
谈不
bubble
上
universe
复原
from
它们。
fusing.
没有关系，
That's
这样
okay,
就足
that'll
够
be
了。
enough.
我希望你
I
能做
want
到
you to
的，
catalyze the
就是对
fusing
这些
parts
正在
to
融合的
cause
部
a
分进
phenomenon
行催化，
similar to an
引导
explosion.
出类似爆破的现象。而
The
真正特殊
only
的是，
really
在
special
你进
thing
行
is
这一
that
系列操
I'll
作
be
期间，
inside when you
我
do
会身
this.
处其中。
What do
什么
you
意思
mean?
啊？对于你们
Clever
聪明的
people
头
like
脑
all
来
of
说，
you should be
这
able to
应该不是什
understand
么
this
难以理解
easily,
的事
no?
情。如果
If
真
your
像你们推测的那
speculation that
样，
the bubble universe
整个
has
世界
become
泡
something like a
变成了一
huge
个巨大的
reactor is
反应
right, then since everything seems to be
那么，
operating
既
smoothly,
然它的
the
运
huge
行
amount
看
of
起来如
energy
此平稳，
generated by the reaction
这些有
must
反
be
应
going
生成的巨额
somewhere.
能量，就一定需要相应的去处。我
I
想，
believe it is most
它多
likely
半就是
leading to
苏的核
SAS
心。
core.
因此，
Therefore, if someone
只要在
moves
能
in the
量
same
产生的瞬
direction
间，
as the energy
有人
when
能
it's
跟上能量流
generated,
动的方
this
向，
person will
他
have a
就有
chance
机
to
会顺
find the
藤
way
摸
to
瓜，
SAS
找到苏的
headquarters.
本因所在。而一旦抵达
When
那
that
里，
happens,
这个
that
人就有
person
可
can
能从底
interfere
层
with the
机制下
underlying
手，
mechanics to
为
create
大
a
家争
chance
取
for
到改
everyone
变
to
局面
think
的机会。
turn the
很合
situation
理的方
around.
案，
Very
对吧？
reasonable
斯
plan.
特林，
Miss Dao, I
我
don't
知道
know
你说的合理，
what's
但是
reasonable about this plan.
或许
You
你对于
probably
世界
don't
泡
have any
如何所
idea
展
about
开
the
的影响
energy
还不能
generated
在
during the
这里。
fusion of bubble
即便你再
universes.
强大，
No matter
我
how
也不是
powerful
唯
you
一的
are,
办
I
法
don't think
在
you'll be
大我
able
们
to
的变
survive
化
such a
中存
powerful
活下
burst
来。
of energy.
那么，
Then I just
不
don't
需
need
要
to
存活
survive
就好
it,
了吧？
right?
毕竟我的
After
本
all,
质
I'm
并
not
不
a
是人类，
human, but an idea
而是
contained
生
from
存所凝结
Sigma.
的理性。
We don't exist and
我们的
live
生
like
存状
humans
态
do.
原本就和人类不同。在失
After I
去形
lose
体
my
之后，
form, I'll just
我无
return
非
to the
将回归
stigma
生活
space,
空间，
just like
就
what
像
I've
曾经的我
experienced
反
many
复经历
times
的
in
那
the
样。
past.
这并不算什么
I won't
损
be
失，
harmed,
甚
and
至反而
it'll be
更方
even
便
more
我及时于
convenient
能
for
量的
me to
洪流，
join the torrent of
不
energy,
是吗？
don't you think?
我对此存
I'm
疑，
not sure about
我也不
this.
建议这
I
样
don't
做。
recommend it either. No,
应
I
该
should
说
say I won't
我不可能参
participate
与这
in
样的
such a
计划。
plan.
米斯
Miss
特
Dao,
林，
regardless of
你
how
的
you
存在方
exist,
式姑且不
even
论，
if everything goes
即便一
well,
切顺
you
利，
can't be
你也不
sure
确
of
定自己
what
在那
you
边能做到什
can
么
do
吧？
over
看
there.
虚无缥
To
缈的
take
机
this
会，就这
risk
样铤而走险，
of a
根
low
本就不
chance
理
of
智。
success is
如果
irrational.
在
If
你
you
牺牲
find
了这
out
些之
that
后，
things don't
却
unfold
发现
according
事
to
态
your
无法按照
plan
你所计
after
划
you
的那样发
sacrifice
展，
yourself,
你又
what
如
will
何
you
是好？
do?
那样的
Then
话，
I can only consider
也只能
myself
自认倒霉
unlucky.
了吧？
You,
你，
but
但在那
until
之
then,
前，
I still want
这
to
一切是否
verify
有用？
whether my
我还
idea
是希
will
望能用
work
自己
with
的
my
双
own
眼验证，
eyes.
因为我很清楚，
Because I know
所谓
very
的知
well
晓
that
和理
knowing
解
and
是
understanding
两件截
are
然
two
不
very
同的事。
different things. Even if you know all the definitions of this world, you won't truly understand what it means to feel cold until you touch the snow. Even if she was branded as perfect from birth, she was still influenced by imperfect humans. She was able to escape from the stigma space and obtain the initial opportunity to live as an independent entity, that's all. Now, she was only imitating humans' readiness to throw their lives into a torrent of fate for a possibility that wasn't guaranteed.
哪怕会付出很多代
Even
价，
if the price is
我
very
也想亲
high,
眼看
I
看，
want to see what
在
kind
走
of
投无路
future
之
my
际，
choices will create
我的选
when
择
I'm
会创
back
造出
into a
怎样的未
corner.
来？当然，
Of course, it will be
如果这
even
个未来
better
能帮
if
得
I'll
上
be
你们，
able to help all
那
of
就
you
更
at the
好
same
了。
time. Miss Dell smiled like always while saying this. It was almost as if they were talking about someone else.
也许我的确在做出
Maybe
糟糕
I'm
的选
making a
择，
terrible decision, but
那也要等到验证后才能
we
确
won't
定。
know until we
不是
try it
吗？
out, right?
而除此之外，
Other than that,
我也无
I
法
can't
想
think
出
of
自
any
己还
way
能
to
怎样
help
帮助各
everyone
位
and take
负担起将希尔
responsibility
他
for
们招
bringing
来此地
Sia
的
and
责
the
任。
others here. Shigure Kira was lost for words. She suddenly realized that her words of discussion were so powerless in front of Miss Dao.
算了，
Never mind.
反正在信口开河
I
这
can
方
win
面，
against
我是
you
赢不
when it
了你。
comes to talking nonsense.
既然如此，
In that
投
case,
票
let's
吧。
vote.
成功率未知的行动
For such
应该由
unknown
所有人
success
共同决
rate,
定。
we'll
好
all be
呀，
part of the decision
时间
making.
有限，
Okay,
就由
we
我
don't
们
have
几
much
人共同
time.
表决
Let's
吧。
have a vote
17
among
号，
us. Number
至少你能
17,
够理
at
解我的
least you
想
should
法，
be able to
对吗？
understand me, right?
或许吧，
Perhaps.
至少作为
At
机械
least,
生命，
as a mechanical
我的
life
寿
form,
命足够
my
长，
lifespan is long
足以
enough
等
to
到
wait
你
for
从
you
山
to
河铺建
reappear
脚步
from the
现
stigma
身。
space.
当然，
Of course,
前提是
that's if
我们能
we
够
can
从这
escape
个世
from
界
this
盘
bubble
旋上而
universe
退。
unscathed. Don't miss me
我不
too
在的这
much
段
when
时
I'm
间，
gone, okay?
你可不要觉得寂寞哦。你想多
You're
了。
thinking too
不是，
much.
你怎么
How can you?
在很久以前
A long time
就有
ago,
人教导
someone
过
taught
我，
me to respect
要
every
尊重每
human's
一个人类
decisions,
的选择，
whether it is Miss Dao
无论是
or
米斯特林还是那个人说，
that person said
人
that
类
the
的
nature
本
of
质
humanity
就是
is
为
to
了很多
sacrifice
微弱的
oneself
保
for
护而献
something
上
else.
生命。那薛定谔博士呢？
What
你从
about
刚
you,
才开
Dr.
始就一言不
Schrodinger?
发，
You
一
haven't
定
been
是觉得这家伙
talking.
的提议纯
You
属一
must
响千
think
差，
this
对吧？
proposal is outrageous. No, although Miss Dow's proposal requires great sacrifice, it is the most feasible plan we have right now. And she is the only person who can do this. Miss Dow, I salute you for this.
我愿意为此向你致敬。不是，
Doctor, you're
不是不必客
welcome.
气。
I think most
我
people
想
would make
大
similar
多数人
decisions in
在
my
处于我此刻
position,
的立场
just
时，
like you did
都
more
会做
than
出类似的
60
决
years
定吧。
ago.
比如60多年前的您，怎么样，绮罗小姐？
So what will it
既
be,
然
Miss
投票的
Kira?
结果是
Since
3
the
比1，
votes are 3 to
你也只能
1,
接受
you'll
我的提案
accept
了
my
吧？
proposal,
在
right?
稍后引爆空间的
Remember
时
to be
候，
gentle when
你可一定要温柔一
detonating the
点哦。
space later.
的确，
Indeed, I'm
恐怕
afraid
这
this
就
is
是
the
永劫的含
meaning
义。
of eternal
即使
calamity,
不考虑
and
世
that's
界炮的
without
纷繁特
considering
性，
the complicated characteristics
在
of
无
the
法
bubble
穷尽的时
universe.
间中，
In the endless
我们
river
所
of
经历的一
time,
切，
all things we've
也多半早就以
experienced
一
have
种形式
probably
发生
happened
过，
before in some
并
form,
且终将
and
以
will
另一种
probably
形式
happen
重演。
again in another form.
曾经
As
见证过终焉
someone
的
who has
你，
witnessed
应该能
finality,
比其他
it should be
人更容
easier
易
for
理解
you
这
to
种情况
understand
吧。
this than others.
所以呢，
So,
我不认为
I
这可以
don't
被
think your
称作
last
有价
words
值的
have
临
much
终
value
遗
to
言。
them.
是说
Are
我
you
死到临头
saying
还
that
在说
I'm
废
still
话
talking
吗？
nonsense before I
可严
die?
格意义上说，
So strictly
我也
speaking,
不会死
I
啊。
won't die.
好吧，那
Fine,
就
then
让我利
I'll
用好
make
这
good
段
use
时
of
间，
this time.
最后
Why
再
don't
教
I
你一些东
teach
西如
you
何？
some more
来，
things?
试
Here,
着模
try to
仿我的
copy
语
my
气，
tone. When
在
saying
送别的时
farewell,
候，
you need to say
就
it
要
like
像这样。
this.
无论
No
如
matter
何，
what, I still
我
love
还是
you.
很喜欢
Even
你
if
的。
things don't work out between us,
即使
I'll
事不
always
可
remember
为，
the time I spent
我也
with
会
you.
永远记住那些和你相处的时光。像这样试
Try
试看
saying
吧。
those words like that.
越是这
In
种时
times
候，
like this,
就要试着
you
表
should
达心情，
express your
不让
feeling
自
and
己
not
留下
leave
任
any
何遗憾才
regrets.
对。
如果
If
是另一个人站
anyone
在
else
这
is
里，
standing here,
他一
they
定
would
会认为
probably
你病
think
得
you
不
need a
轻。
psychologist.
更何况，
What's more,
能够
this is
亲
a
眼
rare
观测一个
opportunity
理性
for
的
me
消
to
亡，
observe
那
the
可是
demise
难
of
得
an
的机
idea
会，
with my own eyes.
于我
I
而
can't
言
even
求
hope
之
for
不
a rare
得。
opportunity like this. Really, you don't
真的吗？
have to put up a
可别太
front.
言不由衷哦。不过
But in
这样
that
说来，
case, doesn't
我
that
的确
mean
更加
you're
接
more
近人类
similar
了
to
吧？
humans?
那时我有很多话
There
还没
were
来得
too
及说
many
出，
things for me to tell you at that time.
这种遗
Experiencing
憾
this type
偶
of
尔体会
regret
一
once
下
in a，while
对于
is
成长
good
来
for
说
growth
也
and
是好事。
development.
哦，
Speaking
说
of
起
it,
来，
the
准备
preparation
工
is
作比
taking
想象
longer
中
than I
用了更多时间
expected.
呢。
Did I make
我
some
是不
difficult
是又
demands
提出让人
again?
为难的要求了？
Since she proposed her risky plan involving her own destruction, the worlds continued to fuse, and time was still passing by. Although Miss Tao was the most important part of the plan, the early stage preparation could only be completed by Shigure Kira, which was why these two were able to chat aimlessly without anything except for the
不过
matter
仔
at
细想
hand.
来，如果
But
当
if
前
I
的准
think
备
about
工
it
作出现了
carefully,
意
if
外，
anything goes
又
wrong
或
with
者
the
你离
current
开之后，
preparation,
我
or
们
we
终
lose
究
the
背
SA
对了
after
所。
you leave,
在这些最坏的
in
可
these
能
worst
性
case
下，
scenarios,
我们
you
所有
might be
人
the
当
only
中，
one among
可
us
能反而
who
只有
can
你能
survive.
够生还。
我可不认为
But I
那是
don't
生还
consider
哦。
that
对我而
surviving.
言，有限
What
的
I
时间，
consider to be limited
就普
time
通人而
might
言，
not be limited
可
to
未必如
others.
此。以人类的标准来说，
By
我
human
即将面对
standards,
的虽然并非
what I
死
am
亡，
facing is not death,
却也是
but
名
a
副其实的告
veritable
别。
farewell.
也就是说，
Which means you
你
don't
并
think
没有
this
认
price
为
can be
这
easily
是可以被
accepted.
轻易接受的代价。
当然了，
Of course, do
你以
you
为
think
我已
I'm
经
an
是
old person who has
走完一
experienced a
生
lifetime and
了无
has
遗
no
憾的
more
老人？
regrets? An incident from the distant past flashed in her mind. Anyway, why are
所
we
以
talking about
我们为
this?
什么聊到了这个？
我在想，
I think that although you're supposed to be the Sigma crystal of relief, you're actually quite a self-centered
你事实上
existence.
是一个
By
相当
human
自我的
standard,
存在。
it can
以人类
even
的
be
标准而
said that you're
言，
selfish.
甚至可以被称得上自私。
All right,
好吧，这倒也没错，
I admit that you're
我承
right,
认。
but so
所
what?
以呢，
世界炮的
To be
存续，
a selfish
其
person,
中居
the
民的存
destruction
亡，
of a bubble universe
对一
and
个
the
自
death
私
of
的
its
人来说，
residents are
不
nothing
过
but
是
the
在
end
某
of a
种意
group
志
of
毫无
irrelevant
关系之人
people.
的没
It
落，
has even less
甚
impact
至达
than
不
the
到珍惜
distinction
物
of
种
a
灭
rare
绝能
species.
对它造成的触动。所以，
So I'm curious about your motives
你眼
for
下
the
的行
upcoming
动
operation.
究竟蕴含着怎样的动机？
所以我才说，
That's why I said
恐怕这就是永
I'm
劫的含义
afraid
吧
this is the。
在
meaning
无法
of
穷尽的时
eternal
间中，
calamity.
我
In
们
the
所经
endless
历的
flow
一
of
切
time,
不仅可
everything
能，
we've
甚至
experienced
可以
has
说
already
必然已
happened
经发
before
生
in
过，
some form
并且
and will
终将重
probably
演。
happen
或许在
again.
另一个宇宙里，
Perhaps we'll have a
我们也将会有
conversation
眼
like
前这
this
样的
in
一番
another
交谈，
universe, and
并
all
且
the
每一个细
details could
节
be the
都完
same.
全相符。
你应该
You
明
should
白，
understand that what you're
这不过是
saying it's the wishful thinking of a
但毕竟
philosopher.
不是毫无可能，
But it's not impossible, right? If I
如
must
果一
make
定
an
要为我的
excuse
自
for my
私找一个借口，
selfishness,
一旦想到我的某
then
些
I
遗憾和
think
恐
that
惧，
certain
将会
regret
在
and
无尽的
fears
时
of
间里反
mine
复上
will
演，
keep repeating in the
我
endless
就感
river
到难
of
以忍受。
time. I find it unbearable.
我
In
往
the
往只是
past,
命
I
运的配
usually
角，
played the role of a supporting
虽
character
然也
of
能随心而
destiny.
为，
Although I
却
could do
终究什
whatever
么
I
也改变不
wanted,
了。
I couldn't change anything.
所以，
So I started to
我
plan a
渐渐
different
开
way
始
of
打算
life.
换一种
I
生活
want to
方式，
be
也
my
就是
own
当自己的主角，
protagonist and try not to
尽
do
力不去做
anything
可
that I
能
would
让自己
regret
后悔的事
later.
情。至于结果，
As for the results, there are
虽然
ups
有
and
好有
downs.
坏，
At least in
但以永
terms
劫的
of
尺度而
eternal
言，
calamity,
至
I
少
have a
眼下
clear
的我
conscience
能够
right
问心
now.
无愧。
我不理解，
I don't understand
你
why
为
you
什么要
need to
绕
make
这么
such
大
a
一
big
个圈子？
detour.
你只是想在
You
主观
just
上
don't
不
want
觉
to
得自己是个
subjectively
坏
feel
人。
like you're a bad
其中的
person.
缘由
The reason for
可能
this
仍
may
然基
still
于
be
你
due
身
to
为
your
女性的
physical
生理特
traits
质。
as an idea.
算了，
Forget
就按
it.
照你的
Just
意
do what
愿，
you want.
不在
I
这种
don't
时候对你
want
进
to
行
make
其他
other
负面评价
criticism
了。
about you at this time.
你是从这个角度
So
来
this
看问
is
题
your
的吗？
perspective about the problem.
可
Have
是
you ever
你
considered
是否
that
想过，
non-humans
对
also
我们
have
这
a
些
price
非
to
人之人
pay
而
for
言，
eternity?
永恒也会有永恒的代价。某种意义
In a
上说，
sense, being able
能
to
够生
die
死
is
神灭，
ironically
反
the
倒是
only
人类
human
唯一会
quality
让我感
that
到
I
羡
am
慕的特
envious
质。
of.
倒不是那种
It's
所谓
nothing to
有
do
生之
with
苦
the
的陈词
eternal
滥调了，
suffering
只不
cliche.
过
It's just
能够
that
彻底
being
死
able to
去，
die
或
completely
许反
may
而
be a
是世
form
界
of
对人类的一
kindness
种仁慈。
that the world has
在
given
短
to
短的一生
humans.
中，
All the
他们
regrets,
所有的遗
fear,
憾、
and pain in
恐
their
惧、
short lives will
痛苦，
disappear without a
都
trace
随着
with
死
their
亡烟
death.
消云散，不留下任何痕迹。而如果事实
And
并非
if
如
that's
此，
not the case, in
在
any
任何一
world,
个世界
there's an
都将有极
extreme
大的
high
概率
chance that
出
there
现
will
人
be
间
a
的天堂
heaven
与
and a
地狱。
hell. The joy of a
少
few
数人的欢
people
乐
form an
将与
extreme
大多数人的
contrast
痛苦
against the pain of
形
the
成极致的对
majority.
比。
但这终究只是
But
题
that's
外
still
话。
besides the point,
伊
Miss
斯特
Dao.
算了，
Whatever.
你难道是想问，
Are you asking of,
已经准备好了吗？
is everything ready? This may have been a coincidence, but the person who had been making honest reminders was being evasive this time.
一切就绪，
Everything is ready except for one last
确
step,
保我身处其
making
中。
sure that I am inside. Yes,
除了一
except
个
for an
供你出入的缺
opening
口以外，
for you to
至
enter,
于企鹅，
Grigura
已
has
经完成了
sealed
封
the
存一
rest
处
of
空
the
间的工
space.
作，他正在尽可
She's
能地维
doing
持
her
现
best to
状，
maintain the current state
以免我们
to
设下重
prevent
融合反应，
fusion from
提前下去。
intensifying too
也就
early.
是说，我要
Which
尽快动
means
身
I
才
don't
行
have
啊。
any time to
等等，
waste.
密斯特
Wait,
里，
Miss Dao. She was still hesitating and seemed to want an answer to a certain question, but she could not even explain why she felt that way. In her consciousness built on a foundation of codes, some incomprehensible past events quickly flashed by.
啊，
That's right,
对
number
了，17
17.
号，
Please do me
最
one
后再
last
帮我一
thing.
个忙吧。
In any
无论
case,
如何，
you've never seen me
你
look
从来没
happy
有
or
见过我
sad.
表现出大
Those
喜大悲的样子
expressions
吧？
would make me feel quite awkward.
对我来说，那还是很难为情的。
What
我
I'm
是说，
saying is,
尽
try
量
not
别
to
再
say
说些
things that are
太
too
伤感
sad
的话，
anymore, okay?
好吗？虽然大
I
家
don't
不知
know
何
when
时
we'll
才
meet
能再度
again,
相
but
见，
since I'm not really
但
going
反
to
正又不是
die,
真的要死
please
了，
let me be more
就让我悠哉悠
carefree.
哉一点吧。
I promise
我
you,
答应你，
you should go now.
出发吧。
All
好呀
right. By the way,
说
it's
来还
quite
真
a
是巧呢，
coincidence.
无论到
The
来
scene
还
in
是
front
离
of me
去，
is so pure and white
我
when I
眼前的景
came,
象
and as I'm
都是
leaving
这样的一
now,
片洁白，
I like it quite a lot.
很合心意呢。
Ah,
那
that.
是
I always
总
think
是
I
自
know
以为无所不
everything,
知，
but I
但其
actually
实
neglect
我也
a
忽略了
lot
很
of
多细节
details
呢。
too. By
说起
the
来，
way, number
17号，
17, is your
你
body
的机体
capable
应
of
该集
taking
成了相机的
photos?
功能，
Can you
能帮
take
我
a
拍张照
photo
片
for
吗？
me? The
这里真有氛围
atmosphere
感
is
呀。
amazing here.
天堂里不会有人行
Nobody
善
does
积
good
德，
deeds in heaven
因为他们本
because
就
that's
如
what
此。
they all do there.
地狱里也不会有
Nobody
人
does
为非
evil
作
in
歹，
hell because
因
that's what
为
they all do
他
there.
们本就如此。是啊，
Yes,
只有
only
人间是
humans
这
are
样一
so.
个。
Let's go.
我们走吧。
You.
你们，抱歉，
Sorry, we were
路
delayed
上
on
耽
the
误了
way
一些时
here.
间。
How's the
情况怎么样？
situation?
很顺利啊。
Everything is going
虽
well.
然在人为
Although
分
the
割之
spatial
后，
fusion is
空
more
间融合的
intense
势头的
after
确
the
更猛。
artificial division,
不过
it can still be
也还算维持
maintained.
得住。倒也
You
不
don't
用
need
急
to
着现在
rush
就进
in.
去。
谢谢，
Thanks. Don't worry
别担
though.
心，
There's nothing
我也没
else
有
I
其
need
他
to
必须要
do.
做的事情了。不过，
But I never
之
thought
前还
about
真
it
没想过
before.
这
The
种景
scene,
象。与
instead
其说
of
是两个世
saying
界的
two
融合，
words are
倒更像
fusing,
是天崩
it
地
looks
坏
more
呢。
like an
其实从理论
apocalypse.
上来说，
Theoretically speaking, all forms of fusion are rough.
也都不会表现得太过温和。
是啊，
Yes, all things are
世间万物
heterogeneous in this
彼
world.
此都互为抑制
Since a
嘛。
long time ago,
我早就，哎呀，
I'm talking
就在说
nonsense
闲话
again.
了。
Let's save
我
some
们还是
time.
节约一点时间吧。
Next, once I walk
接下
inside,
来，
you'll all
只要我
need
走到
to
里面
thoroughly
去，
separate this
大家
area
再将那
from the
片
bubble
区域
universe,
彻底分
right?
离出这个世界泡就可以了吧？
就已知部分
Based
来
on
说
what we know, yes.
的确如此。
已知
Based on
部
what we
分，
know. After all, what we know about the fusion process is based on our speculation, and we won't be able to help you at all, regardless of what happens once the area is fully isolated. Yeah, I was
这我倒是
prepared
早
for
有
this.
准备。
On the contrary,
不如说，
I think you all need
反
to
倒是
be
大家
more
要更坚决
determined
一
not
些。
to reopen the space for
无论
me,
看到了
no
什么意
matter
料之
what
外的情况，
unexpected changes
都
take
不要为
place.
了我而重新打开这片空间。虽然
Although, maybe
这样
I'm
说
flattering
或许
myself
有
by
些自作
thinking
多
that will
情，
happen. After the
在
fusion
融合加剧之
intensifies,
后，
we won't be
即使
able
我
to
们有
do
这
that
个意
even
愿，
if we wanted
也不
to.
可能做到吧？
That's even better.
那就再好不过啦。
After a moment of contemplation, her gaze moved from person to person, studying each one carefully. It's hard to imagine such a serious expression would ever appear on her face.
好了，
Okay,
也
I
该
should
出
go
发了。
now.
从外之
Judging
间承
from
受
the
的压力
pressure
来
of
看，
the key of
你的确应该
beyond
立
this
刻动身。
under, you should leave now indeed.
虽然
Although you should
即
still
使
be
封
able
存
to
和分割彻底
communicate
结
through
束，
me to some
你仍然
extent
能通过
after the
我和这
isolation
边维
and
持一定
fission
程度的联
process
系。
are completed.
但很抱
I'm
歉，
afraid you'll have to face
你必
that
须独自一人面对
world-shattering
天地之
destruction
间。
alone.
所以
So, will I be
无论尝试
able to
失
leave
败
a
与否，
message at the last
我至少还
minute
能在
whether I
最后一
succeed
刻
or not?
留下讯息。
当然
Of，course, your last
你最后留
message
下的
will
信息
be
将
of
至关重要，
utmost important
应该
and
会
will
直接决定我
determine
们
the
丝毫的
logic
行
of
动轨
action
迹。
we
我明
take.
白了。
I understand.
那
Well
么
then, this
再
is
见了，各位。
goodbye. I don't know
也不知道
if
会不会
I'd
变得很狼
battered
狈呢？
later. Could you
17号
accompany me there,
可以
number
陪我到那边
17?
去吗？
Oh yes, she thought to herself. Thinking about it, the being who was supposed to be closest to Misao was unexpectedly silent at this time. Not long ago, when this idea took on a light, risky adventure, she experienced psychological behaviors like wishing, so her current attitude felt particularly strange. I refuse your request, Miss Dao,
密斯特林，而且
and I will not bid you
我也不会
farewell.
向您道别。